Over the last few months, I've seen a lot of integrated amplifiers, and a lot of them have a million different features that are either very similar or almost totally similar. But this one is a slightly different because it has one feature that I haven't seen in an integrated amplifier that I've reviewed yet. It's this. That's right. It comes with a built-in CD player. Not too many like this. Let's talk about this. This is the Elipson Music Connect HD. Let's get into it. All right, so the Elipson Music Center Connect HD is Elipson's answer to an all-in-one music streaming integrated power amplifier with a CD player, which you don't see every day. The Elipson company, as you know from my last video on the Elipson Prestige faucet speakers, is a French company. These products are designed and made in France. The design of this integrated amplifier is very interesting. I'm not sure quite what they're going for, but it's kind of neat what the design is. So it's like almost like a disc. You wouldn't be too hard pressed to say it looks very much like a Roomba vacuum cleaner, but it's very functional. I think it looks it's different looking, like for sure. So I think they took their shot and then Elipson went for it. It's a very interesting design, but it's very functional and it works very well. Now, the retail cost of this unit in the US is approximately $1,200, and in Canada will set you back about $1,800. There's definitely a lot of features in this amplifier, so for that price, for about $1,200, I mean, you're getting an integrated amplifier, a music streamer, a CD player. It's kind of the jack of all trades, and it has lots of hookups, which I'll get into. Okay, let's take a look at the front here of the Elipson Music Center Connect HD integrated amplifier, streamer, CD player, blah, blah, blah. So as you can see, there's a very nice display here up front, which tells you all the information you need. Power button here, these are all touch display buttons. Input, volume, up and down, sorry, play, pause, forward track, next track, that's for your streaming as well as your CD player. It has stop and eject for the disc because it does have a CD player. And yeah, it tells you everything you need now to access the options or the menu options and stuff. I don't think you could do that from the display here. You do need to use the remote control. And then you get all the menu options. So system info, set up the network. You got EQ, subwoofer, which you could set the crossover at. Display, auto, reset, upgrade system. So, I mean, everything's up here. Tone controls for it. Everything's in here in the menu setup. And now we'll take a look at the remote. All right, so this is the remote. Just quickly, it's lots of buttons on it, that's for sure. So I'm not going to go over everything on it, but it's a very functional remote. And it works, but it does have a nice feel into it, and I do like the tactile feel of the buttons. So yeah, this is the remote that controls the Elipson integrated amplifier. Okay, so the back of this Elipson Music Connect, you got USB here. You could plug in another auxiliary into there, iPod, I guess, or something, headphone amp, and then you got the back here. So you got your analog inputs. There's two of them here. These are the pre-outs, so if you want to hook this up to a separate amplifier, you could do that. Subwoofer as well, so you could hook up a subwoofer. Your landline if you want your internet connection to go there, but it does have wireless built in and Bluetooth as well. This is for a antenna, I believe, to receive DAB signals. Decent set of binding posts here, and then you got your plug and then your master power switch. Okay, so the sound of this integrated amp, I would characterize mostly as a neutral sounding amp with maybe a little bit of a touch leaner sound, I think I'd say. It's not as dynamic as I say I've had some other amps, but it's a neutral sound, and it really starts to shine and get going when you crank it up a little bit. I'm talking, probably around 75 dBs and up. 75 to 85 dBs. I think that's probably the very sweet spot of this amplifier. I use it with a couple of different speakers that I have. I use it with my reference Triangle Bro 3 speakers, and also, of course, the Elipson 80th anniversary Prestige Faucet speakers. Both were a good match. Both sounded very good with this amplifier. If I were to pick one, though, I think I would go with the Triangle Bro 3s. I just think it had a little bit better symmetry, I think, with this Elipson amplifier. So as I was saying with this amplifier, even though it says 120 watts at 8 ohms per channel, and it's using a Bang & Olufsen amplifier, is what they're saying in the spec sheet. I really thought that this amplifier started getting going when it was about probably about 75 to 85 dB. So I mean, it goes from like minus 80 dB in the volume settings all the way up to I think plus 10 or plus 20 or something like that. So from like 80 to 40, it was so low, I mean, it wasn't even worth listening to. It really got it going after that fact. So you really have to dig in to the volume to really get this amplifier to start going. Okay, so I'll compare this amp with maybe a couple of different amps that I've had or used in the past with similar feature sets. So this needs to be an integrated amp with at least like some kind of digital connection, Bluetooth connection, subwoofer out. So there's not too many amps that I've had that have all those features. First one I'll start with is my reference amp that I used to have was the Iota VX SA3. Now that amplifier only retailed for about $600, about 500 US, and that one was very good. It had a lot of the features that this one had, but both sounded very similar, or as to kind of like a neutral type sound. Whereas I think they're both had tonality, were very similar. No emphasis on the bass, the treble, or the mid-range. Everything sounded, you know, nice and even. And as far as that goes, the Iota VX did have Bluetooth, although with a dongle in it. This one has built-in Bluetooth, but no streaming options into the besides Bluetooth in the Iota VX SA3, where this one has, you know, it has Spotify built in, it has Apple AirPlay built in, has a CD player built in, with the Iota VX doesn't have. So cost-wise, I mean, obviously you're paying, you know, let's say $1,200 for this one. The Iota VX is about $500-600, so it is double the price, but you are getting that many more features plus a CD player built in. So you have to kind of gauge, I guess, kind of what you want in that. The other amplifier I wanted to compare it to was the Hegel H95 that I just did a review a couple months ago. I'll leave a link there in the top corner. Now, the Hegel is much more comparable to this one. Price-wise is about, I believe, about $1,800 in the US, $1,800 to $2,000. This one's $1,200. So, I mean, it's about $600 different. Obviously, no CD player built into the Hegel, but all the streaming options were there. But there weren't wireless streaming options, so you did have to connect it via an Ethernet cable in order to get the streaming options into the Hegel. Sound-wise, the Hegel does have it beat, even though the sound signature is sort of the same. Everything was just a little bit more hi-fi-ish with it, so you can hear more details, better soundstage, imaging. It just seemed more dynamic to the Hegel H95. So the sound was definitely a level up from this Elipson. Build-wise too, the Hegel was, you know, very solid, you know, all metal type frame. Very well built, had a nice display on the front. This one actually has a nice display as well. But the build quality on this, I'd say this one's more plastic-ish around the housing here. Still very well built, but just not to the same degree that the Hegel H95 is. But if you want more features, you know, wireless streaming, the CD player if you need that, you know, those features will make for a better case for some people, I think. So that's a comparison between the amplifiers. Okay, so let's wrap up this review here of the Elipson Music Connect HD. This is a very interesting amplifier. It does sound good. It does sound really good. Like I said, you have to dig into it to really get it going. but once it gets up to about 75 to 85 dB, it sounds very good, very high-fi sound with all the detail that you would expect from a machine like this. Plus, it has the features, so it's an all-in-one unit. You know, everyone who has kind of a few CDs lying around or a collection of 10 to 20 CDs, or maybe you're looking to get back into CDs but don't have the space for all this, this is a perfect option for it. It has a lot of great features: Apple AirPlay, Spotify streaming. It has Bluetooth, subwoofer with subwoofer management built into it as well. And obviously the CD player, that alone to me is worth at least a couple of $100, if not a little bit more, $200 to $300, just having a CD built in here. So it does sound that good too. It is a great sounding CD player, and the DAC inside, built into this streaming amplifier, is very good. So you have all those pluses going for it. If you need kind of an all-in-one solution, if you're tight on space and just want something to buy, hook up speakers to it and just get going, and it's a really good option. You could add a subwoofer if you need as well. Um, this is a great option for sure. Check it out. I'd like to thank the boys at Altitudo Audio again for lending me this equipment. Check out their website, and if you need to give them a call, they'll answer all your questions about any items they have. Like I said, they're always bringing in new items all the time, all the latest stuff. So definitely check out their website. I'll leave their links below. And until next time, see you on the next one.